A warm welcome to this uplifting, fascially and otherwise slings in motion movement sequence. So before Muriel and I, hopefully with you, get going, let me give you 3 motivators for this multidimensional movement sequence. First, it enhances the fascial resilience in your back. How does that benefit you? Well, in every intended movement you do, say, if you're a tennis player, you play tennis, if you, I don't know, like to reach up with a lot of energy to the top of your bookshelf to get that book that you always wanted to read, or if you do this unintended weird move in the garden, your back will support you. Number 2, we are massaging the inner organs, and that is vitality. That is your inner health. I think I can leave it at that. That's motivator enough. However, there is another one for today, and this is energy regulation. And so what do I mean with this? You have a sympathetic part in your nervous system that motivates you for action. And you have a parasympathetic branch that brings you to a state of ease. So in this movement sequence, you are promoting upliftedness with a sense of serenity. If I convinced you, low kneeling, with a kneeling pad beneath the knees if you like, center the pelvis, center the spine, raise your arms forward and upward with an arm arc, active forward fold, tilt the pelvis back and curl up into a high kneeling position. Open your arms out to the sides and then make a choice. Either you keep your legs parallel or you can open the knees to about shoulder distance. Takes a little bit of tension out of the sides of the hips. With your upper body centered, you sit back and you fold forward and then tilt the pelvis back, curl up. Inhalation is a slow sit back centered. Exhalation, a dynamic curl up. The movement is primarily coming from the abdominal muscles, and then the support is coming from your hip extensors. You are enhancing the glide around your thighs and glide between the fascial layers of your back. So already enhancing the resilience of your spine. You can stay in an upright position. If your legs are wider, bring the legs closer together. And now let me think about direction. Left leg turns out. Yes, the left knee goes up and you're walking forward into a 1990 kneeling position.
From here, relax your arms and then bring the arms overhead and spiral towards your left. Place the right hand onto your left leg and then bend the left elbow. So keep the pelvis as centered as possible. Bring a little bit of pressure into the ball of the big toe on your left-hand side for stability. Now, with your right hand, push into the left leg and sense how it spirals you around. How you release the pressure, it brings you back. So you push, you oppose with the leg, and then release. Let's synchronize the breath. Inhale, feel how it assists the spiraling up and around. And on the exhalation, you release and you let the recoil happen. Recoil once more, extend the arm, and then an easeful arm swing forward and back. And then stay rotated to the left. So have a sense of reaching through the left arm out. Keep the shoulder, the upper arm connected into the shoulder socket. Same initiation. Your right hand presses into the leg and it spirals you up and around and you recoil back. And then you give that push into the leg and you release. The inhalation is that expanding, spiraling you up and around. You elasticize the oblique abdominals and they recoil you back. Then from here, once more, let the arms swing. and then stay rotated, adding on. With the inhalation, reach through the arm. So the arm reaching up a little bit might just assist you to be able to tension your abdominal sling a little bit more and to recoil with more ease. Bring the arms overhead.
And now we're going into an open spiraling twist to the right. The left hand goes to the inside of the right leg. Let's move slowly just once. You swing your right arm forward. The spine follows, the pelvis follows. You swing the right arm back. You let your upper back spiral around. You let your pelvis revolve over and around the hip bones or the thigh bones. And now let's do this dynamically. You swing the arm forward and back. A dynamic, rhythmical arm pendulum that by sense takes your upper back into a spiraling motion and then despirals it, and the pelvis rotates around with your upper back. The lower back is dynamically stabilized. Let's do this 2 more times. Last one. Reach forward and overhead with both arms. Open your arms out to the sides. You can place the left hand onto the left knee, right hand to the front of the hip. You stay uplifted in your upper body, and then the feeling of a controlled fall into the dynamic shift. Turn the left leg out. Turn the heel out and gradually walk out into a dynamic hip release and eventually into a 90-90 gate pose, elasticizing your lower body and also creating adaptability. So it's not only in your back, but also your legs. Turn the left knee down onto the floor, bring the lower leg back, parallel leg alignment.
With the parallel leg alignment, you go into a sit back once more as you breathe in. On the exhalation, curling up, coming back up. And then tune in as you are curling up. Maybe the way that your lower back opens and tensions feels different now. Go one more time. Sit back and curl up, and then stay here. This time, bring your right leg into an inward rotation, place the foot onto the floor, and then walk your foot forward back into a 90-90 kneeling stance.
Relax your arms, raise them forward and upward with an arm arc, and then spiral towards the right. Place the left hand, palm facing the leg, against the left knee. Bend your right elbow. Actively elongate the spine. With your inhalation, press your left hand against the knee. Exhalation, release. Keep going. Can you imagine your oblique abdominal fascia is like an elastic bowstring that you tension and let recoil? Let's do this 1 more time. And then you reach back with your right arm, and now the arm pendulum, forth and back. You bring ease into your body. Hold, reach out with your right arm. Once again, with your inhalation, press your left hand against the leg and then release with your exhalation. Inhalation, press, pulling the bowstring. Exhalation, release. Now you have a lot more bowstrings and they are between your vertebrae. So you're elasticizing your spine. And now let's do this dynamically and unwind. Swing the arm forth and back. Arm pendulum, hold. Now we're going to tension these bowstrings differently. So same motion with your left hand. Inhale, press. Exhale, release. Start to reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, palm forward. And with this, you tension the bowstrings more in your oblique abdominals and your spine rotators. Swing the arm forward. Whoop! Was that it? Excellent. Mumu's taking over.
And then spiral towards your left. Bring your right hand on the inside of the knee and sense how far can your pelvis rotate with ease over your thigh bone. Slow once more. Let the arm initiate the movement. Let it move through your rib cage into the pelvis. Bring the arm forward and the arm goes back. It spirals into the rib cage, down into the pelvis. And then let the arm be the motivator and the spine and the pelvis follow. So beautiful outside in movement that benefits you in daily life with an easeful arm swing and a well-moved pelvis over your thigh bone. And then stay lifted, bring the arms overhead again, lower the arms down. Bring the left hand into the front of your hip and the right onto the knee. A controlled fall and centering. Once more controlled fall, going more into the adaptability as you take your toes out and then the heel and the toes. Slowly, elastically making your way into a 90-90 gate pose. And once arrived there, rotate your thigh in and center again. Either bring your legs together, adducted if that is comfortable, or you can adduct them, bring them together, and going into an inward rotation, medial rotation of the hip joint or the thighs. And then you sit back and you curl up again. So feel that sitting back, the back muscles are working, and then their fascia gets tensioned and strengthened. Sit back once more, adding on, lifting into an extension. From here, center. Bring the arms overhead. Lower the arms to shoulder height. And then lifting up. Turn the palms up, a small extension and a slight recoil. Breathing in a bigger extension and this recoil. Once more into the arch that suits you and then center and sitting back. We hope your mood feels energized and lifted, yet you also feel centered and calm within.
And Mumu just reminded me, I believe I gave you good reasons for this movement sequence by invigorating and making your back more resilient and then invigorating your inner organs so you feel more healthy and also bringing dynamic balance in your autonomic nervous system. You also feel uplifted yet calm. Now, if that wasn't enough, and Mumu, you said it, in every step we take, this movement sequence adds ease and buoyancy. And I mean really literally in every step, in the pelvis, in the spine, in the freedom of movement, in the arms. And if you want to win a race, this is a winning sequence too. So just here an added motivator for your daily practice.
Literally or sometimes just emotionally. You can have either race. It'll suit you. It'll help.